This video is going to show you a solo GM on Sunless Cell with a poison style subclass, or the closest thing that you'll ever get to a poison subclass in Destiny 2. That's with the exotic hand cannon fawn and necrotic grips, as they have a unique interaction when you equip both together. However, that's not the reason why we've actually equipped fawn in this. There's a party piece trick that fawn does in Sunless Cell. I ain't going to wine and dine you and tell you right away. I'm going to make you wait. I'm going to show you it. When it comes up, I'll mention it. But for now, just going to keep going with the run. So yeah, there's an actual reason why we've got fawn on. Fawn loyalists will understand it. Non-fawn loyalists won't have a damn clue about nothing about this. But you will after this video, won't you? Okay, so the first unstop in the never activity, just before this area, kill him with a 2.2 multiplier. If he is not killed with a 2.2 multiplier, you will not get kill credit for him. So make sure that you do that. Lest you'll get gold rank, because it won't count. That's the first thing you need to know about it. This Hive unstop, I'm farming Transcendence energy off him. You want to have some Transcendence energy for the next room. Okay, so you need to understand in Sunless Cell, you can skip, you are allowed to skip one champion of your choice. It does not matter which champ it is, but you are allowed to skip at least one. However, you're not allowed to skip two. And technically, there's another Hive unstop right now. Now, he will spawn always. After a certain amount of time, whether you kill ads or not, he's always going to spawn this guy. I've already tested it. So kill him and keep your free ticket, because you may as well. You're keeping your free ticket. That's what I'm doing here. I've got a 3 champ ticket, and you can spend it at a later time. Now, because of my unique strategy, I kind of need to kill him, because I want to skip another champ instead of this guy. Because he'll always spawn up. When you start dealing with the wizards, this guy will always spawn up that Hive unstop. You might be unaware of it, but it does happen. Always. I've already tested all the stuff. When you come into this room, you're looking for the Taken Unstop. The Taken Unstop is nowhere to be seen at all. So what I'm going to do, a second plan, if the Taken Unstop you couldn't see him or whatever, pop a Transcendence and start dealing with the wizards and clear one of the sides of the room. Do not kill the first wizard in the middle of the map. You need to kill left, right, and top, mid, wizard. You don't need to kill the other one. There's no need for it. There's no need for the checkpoint requirements. Pop a Transcendence and you want to deal with all of the ads with your poison from your arcane needles, your Transcendence nades melt. Fawn does a pretty good job on orange bars and red bars, poisoning them all. But look what's happened. I've now spotted where that Taken Unstop is, and you want to kill him because you want to keep your free ticket. You remember you've got 1 3 ticket, so you may as well keep hold of it. The reason why is because there's a champ coming up that I want to skip, and there's a 50% chance whether he pushes or not. If he doesn't push, great, I've skipped him. I've done what I wanted to do. If he pushes, then I've got to kill him anyways. Now you could do it a different way and skip the second Hive unstop and then bank on killing the next one coming up in a couple of minutes. But I wouldn't rely on that because he might not. So golden rule is so far 4 minutes into the run, every champ that you've seen so far you kill. Keep the 3 ticket. Keep it. Keep the 3 ticket. Take an unstop, we kill him. Like I say, and then we just finish up the final wizard. You get Suffocate and Terror debuff, but don't worry about it. It's never going to become a problem to you in this bit. Definitely not. We'll just use a bit of poison damage. You want to leave this room with relatively full ammo if you want. Well, yeah, it'll benefit the run, to be honest, if you have max machine gun ammo. And special ammo not as important because you can finish your kill ads, but be relatively healthy on your ammo because you're going to be going into the next bit. So here's the party piece trick. Fawn loyalists will already know what I'm going to do before I'm about to do it, because that's what they're into. They're into weapons of sorrows. They know the dark side, right? Non-Fawn loyalists won't have a damn clue what I'm about to do. Here we go. There we go. Poison damage from Fawn pierces the blights. It takes approximately 4 magazines worth for both blights. That's a good payoff. This entire room's a skip. Now, you want to have a super for this bit, so you shouldn't have used it in the previous room. Only Transcendence uses. You didn't need a super in that previous room. Your Transcendence is enough to clear out everything, to be honest. But yeah, keep poisoning the blights. You want to take out both of them. That will unseal the doors. He's the tech. He's the fawn technologies. So you're going to do that. Both blights will go down. Then what you're going to do is run down the stairs so far, if you can, and then pop a super, a Song of Flame super. There is a take and unstop in this room, and that's the guy I was on about. There's a 50% chance whether he pushes you in the next room. Here we go, we'll show you it. Pop super down the stairs, get 1 kill for Devour probably, and then run past the ads. Try not to touch the unstop at all, don't touch him. Just run past him. There we go, and now just clear out this room. Get behind this cover, and if the take and unstop has pushed, you're going to have to kill him. If he hasn't, fantastic, you can skip him. You can skip this guy if he has not pushed you in your run. Depends, it's a 50% RNG thing, whether he does or he doesn't after my testing. On my run, he pushed, which wasn't ideal because I wasn't wanting to skip him. But this means, everybody, I can skip another champ later down the road if I want. I've still got my 3 ticket. My Willy Wonka chocolate bar free plat rank white chocolate champ ticket. Still got it free. Means I can skip another one later on. Alright, so this room here. I fight from here when I'm doing my Transcendences. Pretty good because I find that he does his super less. He does do his super. So this subjugator's stasis, right? He does his stasis crystals and they can wipe you, for sure. So get your guard up, get your glaive up. Let's talk a bit more about weapons, because I haven't had a chance to, really. So Fawn goes on because of the Blight skip. There you go, because of the Fawn technology skips. Glaive goes on because Sunless Cell is a Glaive GM, make no mistake. It's the best special weapons to use in Sunless Cell. Apart from Lord of Wolves, yeah, Lord of Wolves is an outlier and it's fantastic in the game. Yep, I know that. Lord of Wolves loyalists are shouting. I know about it. But generally speaking, as a utility tool, glaives are just incredible in this. They really are that good. You can make any build work in this GM. If you literally run a glaive, you could do this with white gear. That's how good a glaive is. Not that you would need to do white gear. Who's going to do white gear? But I'm just saying that's the strong and the potency of how good the glaives are. Now, I'm going to clear out some of these ads. My plan is to basically take out most of the ads and have the ads spawn up quicker. The reason being is because the subjugator is a Bane. Now, there's an RNG chance. There's another RNG element if your subjugator can be a Bane or not a Bane. Some people are confused and think that the subjugator is always a Bane. No, he's not. No, he's not. He can sometimes be a Bane and sometimes not. Now, it's not the problem that he's a Bane. It's the problem of his health. You're going to spend 3-4 minutes extra in this room if he is a Bane. Okay? Can't control it. It's RNG, random number generator. So, if he is a Bane, I recommend that you probably clear out all the ads and then get and then spawn in the wizards. I believe the condition for the 2 extra wizards to spawn and all the champs and the ads is to clear out the full room of all ads and get the boss, get the tormentor weak. Probably less than a third. I'll have to see the exact condition on that because it looks like all the ads are killed, right? So the wizards should spawn up, but there's maybe 2 conditions to that. If he supers, don't hang around those crystals because he'll shatter the crystals and 1 KO you. That does happen. If you've got a glaive guard up, he will not do that. So yeah, I'm pretty certain I cleared out all the ads. So the boss is half HP. I'm going to use a super here as well. Let's speed this up. Obviously, I've got Necrotic Grip on, which does synergize well with Song of Flame. Because to make Song of Flame last longer, you don't use your nade. Sometimes you will use your grenade, but for the most part, you just want to use the melee for the most part. However, at the back end of Song of Flame, it isn't a bad idea to use the nades. Depends on the situation. More on that as we go along with the run. So, I'm going to get a turret down with Transcendence. I've spawned the wizards in, which is exactly what I want, to be honest. As we can then start... Oh, no, I haven't spawned the wizards. This is the next spawn, sorry. This is the Centurions with the walls. The Subjugator does a massive super there. That was crazy, the amount of stasis crystals there was about. But for the most part, you're not too bad. I mean, you've got the glaive. You get that guard up anytime you need to. There we go. Then there's the wizard. So after the Centurions are killed, that's when you'll get your wizard spawning in. The Subjugator is still alive, but it's not a problem because you can stand here. The Subjugator actually will leave you alone for the most part. So yeah, it is good to just spawn everything in because you're going to be quicker to your Song of Flame as a result. Yeah, as soon as you get that Song of Flame, you can use it. I can generate, you know, a good amount of super energy off these wizards, and it starts to deal with we're multitasking the room a little bit, and you can multitask the room because you can stand here. Look, you get no terror stacks. Look at that. I'm barely getting any terror stacks, so I can deal with right wizard very easily. I've got a super. There is a unstop in mid. The guy's supered. The Subjugator is supered. So he only supers if you look at him, really. Time to use super. And my goal, I'm going to see how this plays out, but my goal is to get a finisher kill on this Subjugator. But I'm trying to do damage to all of the room while damaging to him with the poison look. So I'm dealing damage to the adds while supering him. He is basically finished, but look at how much more tanky they are. I think this is more than 35% HP. They're basically... Banes are meant to have 35% more health, but for some reason it doesn't feel that way. It feels like it's more like 50%, maybe higher. For this GM at least, I don't know. Whenever you get a Subjugator, like, because you can melt him if he's a non-Bane target, the Subjugator, you can actually do some sizable damage to him with a whole host of things. But when he's a Bane, yep, he tanks a lot more. We've got a Transcendence nade on him. He's finishable now, so that's good. And we've only got one more wizard to kill. It is hard to see if that finisher icon is up because he's got a nade above him. That dread nade thing, the yellow turrets they put up, yeah, you can't really see it because of that. The visibility is bad on that Subjugator for finisher kill. Okay, so now we've done with that. We've got a Hypernova in mid as well. I'm trying to set him off, really, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just going to deal with this guy from the left. So you can see how you can deal with both wizards left and right. Pretty easy. You know, you just stand by this rock. And the terror stacks, you don't need to worry about terror stacks until times 15. When a Hypernova comes up, I'm running away and I don't need to, but you just guard. If you guard with a glaive... You will not die to the Hypernova, definite. Okay, just the final adds in mid. There'll be another spawn coming up before the actual Ogre. So you want to get a stasis turret down. Try to avoid popping a Transcendence. If you do have a Transcendence there, try not to use it because it's so beneficial to use it on the next bit. I'm going to use LMG now, which is doing a really good job in this. I've got the power of munitions or Willbreaker Munitions mod in this machine gun and gives us a 15% damage buff to Taken and Dread enemies. I've got that mod in my machine gun. I found it was really good actually, the machine gun with that mod. It worked out nice. There is an unstoppable version mod, but you don't need it. You've got plenty of unstop in your kit. You've got unstoppable glaive, turrets, etc. So now we use a Transcendence because all the adds have spawned in with the Ogre, and your goal is to basically isolate the Hive Ogre away from the adds. So that's why you use a Transcendence and poison the entire room. Look, if you get any double damage buffs, there we go, we do. So I'm going to take advantage of this. This is Path of Ambition, of course. Debuff as well, so the boss is debuff because of Basilisk Dominance. And look at the damage that we end up doing. So I'm going to do my Song of Flame and then LMG. Double damage bonus, gets nearly half HP. That's crazy damage, that's really good. That's saved me a little bit of time. We've still got a super to use, like the back end of it, so no need to run away yet. Just get your melee kills on the Scions in mid. Control middle at that point. I've got Devour Chain Kill, so it's fine. Dogs spawn up. So for every you take an enemy kill, you'll get a dog. Remember that. Okay, we've got a Mine Bane here. That's fine. We'll just get rid of him. My just look at the amount of transcendencies I got in this run, though. That's why I went with... So Fawn gives you Dark and Light. But obviously I've got Stasis Turret and Arcane Needle. So I'm going to get more than enough Darkness Energy. So in the run I was like, well, I need more Light Energy in my Heavy. So I was like, okay. Machine Gun should perform very well in this. You don't need to run linear. And I'll tell you why not to run linear as well. Is because that justifies Limit Break. I'm using the modifier off the artifact mod called Limit Break. That will give you the 30% buff with Song of Flame for free because you get Radiant automatic. Radiant is automatic to Song of Flame, so it's just a flat buff. You buff Song of Flame. Now that's huge. Why? Because there's no Solar Surge. If Solar Surge was up, you will get a 25% bonus to Song of Flame, right? Well, it's not. But if you use Limit Break, you get a 30% buff. So it's almost like running Solar Surge GM, isn't it? For your Song of Flame, if you just run Limit Break. Because you can run Defib Blast and Limit Break in the final column, which means you don't need to put Particle on because you're not using a linear. And it makes sense. And the LMG is really good in this run. I know linear is tempting, it is. And I have done some linear runs. By the way, this is my 9th solo GM now on Sunless Cell. So I've done a whole host of different tests. So I do know the differences on do I run a linear or not. And there is a special linear in this. A chill clip linear is very special in this. But with my build, I wanted the LMG on to speed up parts of the run. Because, surprisingly, Fawn's pretty good for the Shrieker room and you wouldn't have thought that, but it is. I'm going to get a Stasis Turret down in middle to get Darkness Energy because I want a Transcendence coming up. I want to use a Transcendence, but first I need to take care of front right and front left Shrieker to try and optimize this room a little bit, because this is where it runs slow up for pretty much everybody, unless you've got a particular strat for the Shrieker room. You know, if you do Hoyle and Invis on a Consecration Titan, you can speed up this room. But if you haven't done that, then chances are this room's going to slow you down. There are plenty of weapons in the sandbox that can speed this run up. For example, Revision 0. I done a Revision 0 solo GM on this exact loadout. Well, I didn't have necrotic grips on. I had something else on with Rev 0. And Rev 0 was good for the Shrieker room. But my run was like 32, 33 minutes or something with Rev 0. And I was thinking, you know, what would be better for the video? To use Rev 0, which is a more powerful exotic than Fawn, or to do a Fawn run. The Fawn run's far more interesting in my opinion for the video. It's just a much more interesting run, I think. Even though it's less effective, it is. But it has got a party trick, and that party trick's pretty good with the Blights. It does save massive amount of time on the run for that. You're saving 5 to 10 minutes on that room. But that time gained on that room, you will lose a little bit because you've got Fawn equipped. Whilst Fawn's powerful, it's not quite as powerful as what we would hope. It's strong. It's an 8 to 7 out of 10 exotic. Maybe 8, yeah. If you use Necrotic Grips, it's an 8 out of 10 because it's got a lot of synergy on adds. But it lacks single target damage, does Fawn a little bit. Whereas like Rev 0, like the difference between Rev 0 and Fawn's incredible. But Fawn's doing half decent against these Shriekers, look. So, you know, you're backing up, you're doing that damage. You can glaive them as well. I'm saving a bit of glaive ammo, though, at the minute. My glaive ammo is actually very important because I'm using an Unstoppable Force glaive. And it gives you a 20% buff when you guard and do damage. That's sizable. Glaives really do chunk in this GM. You'll see it. They chunk, they do. Okay, last 3 Shriekers in middle. The goal now is to get a turret in mid and try and deal with the middle Shrieker. And we're going to coax that unstop, take an unstop on right if I can. So look, here we go. We open the Shrieker up, then we go zigzag round this cover like this. Shrieker closes up, and then we'll keep repeating that. If I get an Arcane Needle ready and prepped, I will use it on a Shrieker because they do massive damage. You can poison the Shriekers. So it like sort of stacks your arcane needle poison and kind of stacks with your form poisoning, and it does more damage overall. To the streakers, that's what I'm on about. Any ads that pushed, because they'll get interested, then try and do some damage to them, and then they back up. Yep, committing a bit of damage to the streaker. He's nearly done, that mid-streaker. The mid-streaker is the hardest part of this run, to be honest. Of this streaker room, at least. And that right taken unstop has pushed me perfect. So I've done two things there. Middle streaker taken care of, and the taken unstop has pushed. Which is good. But I'm going to go into mid and optimize a super. I was a bit slow on my turret there. I shouldn't have turreted. I should have just supered. But yeah, you want to come here and just super. This will deal with all of those taken thrall in mid, and some of the captains, and a taken unstop. You won't get both. I mean, we nearly do, actually. We do some damage on the second one. But yeah, it's a good optimization to use a super right there. It saves this room a little bit of time, just a little bit. You're saving, 2 minutes or something because of it. There is still Shriekers alive, but because you can go into mid like that, there's plenty of cover. Okay, now I'm thinking about this taken unstop. He's still frozen, so I'm going to do some stun damage. Use a bit of LMG, doing good damage. Remember, we've got a buff. The Willbreaker Munitions buff will proc against taken champs, because they're taken. The taken and dread enemies are weakened to the machine gun. I think it's Willbreaker Munitions. I'm pretty sure that's the mod. 15% buff. I'll look up the name after this run. But I'm 97% sure that's the name of it. And it's a fantastic mod for Sunless. Because subjugators are the dread, aren't they? They're part of the dread. So you're going to do increased damage to the dread, taking unstops, taking enemies. It's a very good mod. But it's only on the episode Heresy weapons. That's the problem with the mod. See, the mods are good, but those fragile mods, they should have just launched them game-wide for all weapons. I don't know why they just made it exclusive for Heresy weapons. They should have just give us them mods to put in any gun. Because that's why people aren't using them, see. Because, well, some people are, some people aren't. Some people don't know they exist. But I think it would have been a much better play if they just released those mods and said, hey, there's some taker mods, you want to put them in your gun. Instead of backup mag, put the taker mods in, or the unstop mods, or the overload mods, the new ones, and have fun. Rather than it just being for episode Heresy mods. Because, people have fan favourite weapons. They might not be using the Heresy weapons. They might be using some older weapons. There's that many weapons in the game now. There's hundreds. Loads of different combinations. But that's a Shrieker room dealt with. I've got a Transcendence to use here, so that's what I'm going to do. But remember, I've still got a free ticket. And there's only one more unstop in this GM that I need to kill. So I can skip him. So if you have still got your plat rank ticket, your Amazon gift card plat rank ticket, you can skip a champ and still get plat rank. Which that is my intention to do that right now. After this taken warden, which you only need to kill one of them, then we're going to do it. But look at the amount of damage the glaive's doing as well. When we have Unstoppable Force procced, the glaive chunks this guy. It's chunking him. Bear in mind, these taken wardens are tanky. So yeah, this glaive, Nezarec Whisper it's called, it's a very good glaive. Very good. It's got enhanced, I've got enhanced demo on it, which works very well on Warlock, because you'd always want more nades on Warlock. So that's just a neutral based perk that you should use. And Unstoppable Force is fantastic for a ranged glaive that you want to keep putting your guard up. It's not a melee focused glaive, it's more of like a ranged one. But remember, and I should have mentioned this at the start of the video, if you use a glaive and you stab a target with the glaive, you will poison that target because you've got necrotic grips on. So you add poison, DOT, to your glaive by simply just using necrotic grips. Okay, I'm looking for ammo now because there is a banner coming up, but the chances are I might not banner. I do on the run though, in actual fact. So here's what I was wanting to do, and it didn't work out. So I popped super, and I should have just jumped over the ads, but I done a melee, and it stunned the unstop. So I was wanting to skip the entire bridge with the super, but I was like, oh, I can't. So if you do this and you want to skip this take and unstop, but don't damage any of the ads. Because what you need to understand is, yeah, you can skip a champ, but if you tag a champ that you're intending to skip, you've committed to that champ and you must kill him for plat rank. Because then, see, the plat rank has nuances and mini bugs, shall we say. He's a constructive criticism to the game, to Destiny 2. In Frontiers, I don't know if they've made it, but can we have a platinum rank system for Nightfalls? There needs to be a platinum rank system on the right hand side to say how many champs you need to kill. Also, I reckon, now this is going to be controversial. Get a banner here, look, it's not too bad. This is going to be controversial. I think platinum rank should be a combination of high score Nightfall and champs. So if you kill all champs in a run, you don't get platinum, you get gold. Because imagine you skip all the ads, right? So, hang on a sec. We're skipping ads that the developer has put into strikes to then just kill champs and get plat rank. It's not wrong. It's not right. The ideology is not there anymore. They need to go back to scored Nightfalls, and there should be a max cap of score that you should need to attain for platinum rank. Absolutely. This will deter people from skipping ads in the game, because it's starting to get out of hand where people just want... Even me, look, I've skipped. I'm a hypocrite. I skipped the Blight room entirely because of Fawn, which is a cool interaction. But I shouldn't be skipping that room, should I really? Speedrunners, they're skipping ads. At any moment that they can, they will. But that's their job, though, isn't it? They want to do the GM as quickly as possible. So don't blame speedrunners for it. That's how the game is. Platinum rank is only for champs. It's not for scores. But I'm saying that it should be about score as well. It should be a combination of a score and champ. But it should never be the case that if you kill all champs but skip loads of ads, you get plat rank. No, never. It should be that you have to clear rooms to get plat rank. That's what it should be. Objectively, that's what it should be. Scored Nightfalls should be a thing in the game properly. They're not in the game anymore like they used to be. They used to be. Curse of Osiris, I know you don't like it, but scored Nightfalls were really good then. Yeah, I know, I remember I was there during that time period. Nightfall challenge card, 5 of the swords card. People forget all this stuff. Nightfalls were very good then. For scored. That's what I'm on about. And Forsaken era, they were very good as well. Look at what we've done with King. See, Obak Hool knows I am the king. Look at this king damage. This is the king of the throne damage. Look. Look. I don't need to explain it. The footage speaks for itself. I don't need to explain how that throne king technology damage works, but it's good, isn't it? Ads spawn in about just above half HP. The first set of wizards was really easy. I didn't even need to commentate on it, did I really? To be honest. It wasn't too bad. On this build, you just melt everything. Because of the poison, it synergizes with your Transcendence. It synergizes with your Song of Flame. Okay, so now I'm looking at my ability energy. I'm going to do a Transcendence. It's worth it, actually. Because Song of Flame does a lot for us on Phase 2. Where you don't need a Transcendence on the first phase of Phase 2. So, you're going to get 3 more wizards. It's actually worth your time just to use a Transcendence, because it clears out all the ads quicker. It allows you to put nades down. Look at us chunking with that glaive, though. The installable force glaive on this is really good damage. I can tell you it's chunking that. Just looking for ammo. Look at my heavy ammo, though. It's kind of weak. 177. Not as much as I want. Having more machine gun ammo later on in the run's better. So if you want to save machine gun ammo more than me, then do that by all means. I would not argue with that at all. I'm just trying to speed up my run a little bit. But, yeah, if you want to save LMG entirely for Phase 2, that means you can spam machine gun ammo for the entire fight. Do you understand how good that is? That's really good. So if you want to be a bit more passive right now, with the machine gun usage, you can. Turret goes down, Transcendence. Poison these wizards. If you get weak... use your glaive. Look at the overshields, though. We get a lot of overshields with the Transcendence. Terror stacks won't kill you. You'll kill the wizards before then. Again, get those glaive guards up. If you feel as though you're threatened in any way, get the glaive guard on. But the Transcendence is worth it here. Just get it out because you don't need it. Your Song of Flame is all that's required for this phase 1 of taking Unstop. Okay, make sure the entire room's cleared. There's no cursed. There is one cursed up. Yeah, I didn't realise on the run, but there is. Pretty sure there is. Yeah, there is, look, to my right. Go behind a lantern. Yep, the lantern strat. These lanterns are cover. I know it's not a lot, but it's something. Get a turret down, get a rift, and wait a little bit. Just when I say wait a little bit, I mean 3 seconds. Pop super, wait for ads to come, and you need to evaluate what bane you got. If it is a drain bane, pop the super faster. If it's not a drain bane, evaluate your options. But eventually you will pop a super after 4 or 5 seconds. And you're just going to poison all the ads and the champ. See? And that's it done. See how that's just cleared everything? You will, if you get weak like that after the ads have done, guard comes out and the glaive guard comes up right away. Okay, pay attention to Transcendence energy. I need darkness energy, so that's what I'm going to do. Look at Fawn, giving me the darkness energy there. That's what it's doing. Oh, and also my stasis turret's also giving it as well. So how you want to fight this damage, it's actually better to just fight as close as you can to him. Not further away. He's less likely to hit you close up. Use the pillars in middle, the 4 pillars. Or the lantern strat that I showed you. You can stand there for so long, but if he does his solo attack, you need to get your glaive guard up, which you can do. But use your glaive as an offensive option. Look at the chunk it's doing to his HP. Doing pretty good. Yeah, I use a Transcendence there just to speed it up. And we're looking at my super energy. There's going to be another wave of ads before the unstop. So I'm definitely getting my super. So what I'm saying to you is, I don't need to have a combination of Transcendence and Song of Flame at the same time for any given ad wave. It just needs to be one or the other. But more likely you should have a Song of Flame for those taking unstops to confirm it. This will make sure that you don't die. There's a very low chance. The chances of you dying on unstop phase with a Song of Flame are extremely low. They're extremely low. They really are. It's not that hard with Song of Flame. That's what makes it a lot easier. That's why we're running Song. That's one reason why I have it on. So yeah, the ads have spawned in. Look at my super energy. The taken unstop spawns half HP or just above half HP. Then after that, it's a GG. You don't need to do anything else. So just keep turreting the boss. You don't need your turret up for the ads, nothing. I wouldn't pop Transcendence just yet though, because I'm spawning in the unstop. But as soon as you see a champion has appeared, that's when you need to make sure that you're focusing full HP for it. Make sure that you're at fullish HP. In order to do that, just guard with the glaive, you'll recover. We get weak there, but it's alright. I've got an overshield. So you get a Transcendence and you use it at a door. Okay, so I am using my Transcendence here. I know I said you don't have to, but I'm actually just biding my time a little bit because I'm actually quite tanky at the minute, but I'm going to use my super right now. I can get Transcendence back really quickly. Look at the poison with the glaive. It's really good. Yeah, this taking unstop's done. He's poisoned, he's done. That's it. And then I use a bit of damage on the boss. Back end of Song of Flame damage. And we're close to my Transcendence. So yeah, it wasn't a problem that I popped it. You can pop Transcendence and then a Song of Flame. You can do it that way. But I'm just saying, if in your case you didn't have Transcendence, the Song of Flame's enough to deal with it. But you can add more damage if you use a Transcendence, I suppose. More debuffs. I've got a Transcendence. I'm using Lantern Strat. I'll use a combination of the Lantern Strat and the 4 pillars in mid. Yeah, use another. Just spam your Transcendence. I get a double damage bonus. This will speed things up a little bit. Not required for the run, by the way, but it does help. But you just want to keep freeze locking them. That'll make it easy to fight him. Easier to fight him is just to freeze lock him with your abilities on Warlock. And again, if you feel as though you want to fight him and you're weak, but you think you might have to jump out of the way, just get the glaive out and do damage to the glaive. Look at the amount of damage it does. It's well worth it just to be doing glaive damage at times. If he does his solar flames, don't run away. Just put glaive guard up and then just do damage. Look, really easy. I've got plenty of LMG as well to finish this boss off. But yeah, that was the Fawn strat for Sunless Cell. I think it works out really good, but you've really got to build into Fawn to make this viable. But once you do that, this is really fun to do. It's good for Sunless Cell, this, especially with that Blight skip. That was the run on this. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.